there, Freddie Crawford from Venom Products here, and in this video today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the new Torlon rollers we have available at Venom Products here. And so what we got here is actually the secondary clutch off of the Polaris Razor 1000, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to remove the stock square pucks they give you originally and how to install the new Torlon rollers. A little bit about the material that they're made out of and exactly why it's so beneficial to put these in your clutch. Alright, so before we get started, there are a couple different configurations you could have for your secondary. So what we got over here, you can see there's no plug on this one, and there is a plug over here on this one. And you're going to need to fit a spring compressor through the middle of it. So if you have this one, you're good to go. So what we got here is our spring compressor in our vise, flush with the bottom here. And you're going to go ahead and grab your secondary, toss it on top. And before you remove anything, go ahead and grab yourself a marker and mark one side down so you know exactly how you set it up, how to put it back together so it's still balanced when you're done. So we're just going to go ahead and start right here. Go down the side, down the middle, mark the bottom. We're going to put a line on the very bottom. So, alright, and after that, you're going to go ahead and get your spring compressor all lined up here. Go ahead and get that on quick. And the reason we're doing this is there's spring tension underneath here, underneath the helix, so it's going to have a lot of pressure coming up at you. Go ahead and grab your drill, and what you're going to need here is a T25 star bit, so go ahead and pop that on and get this removed. Okay, so after you get those bolts removed, go ahead and take your helix off and get your spider and your spring out of there. Set those aside for later, and you're going to be left with your hollow secondary clutch here. So, as you guys can see, we got these little holes down here, and what I got in my hand here is just this little kind of pinhole punch, and you know, you can use just about anything that'll fit in these. This is really easy because you can hammer the top real easy there. So. And what we're actually doing is we are punching out these little hollow pins in there, and they're actually going to fly out right there, right on the other side. So you can go real slow. You might even want to set a towel behind it because these little pins have the tendency to fly out really, really fast and kind of bounce a lot of different places. So trust me, you don't want to spend the rest of your day looking for them. So just take precautions. You go nice and slow at the end, and it should just, oh, there we go, pop right out at the bottom. So what these actually are, I'll show you, they're just these little hollow pins holding that square puck in. Set those aside, make sure you don't lose them. And what you're left with, basically the only thing holding on this puck now is this black metal pin here. Go ahead and grab a wrench, and it should pop right off for you. Just pull it right out. Alright, so you can go ahead and take your square puck and toss it wherever you want. You're not going to need them anymore. Make sure you hold on to the black pin. You're going to need that later when you're installing your rollers. And go ahead and repeat the process for the other pin over here. Do the same exact thing, punch it out. Go ahead and remove your second puck here. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about the Torlon rollers, the actual Torlon material that they're made out of. Just sort of why it's a good idea to get these in your clutch, sort of the benefits of it. And we'll go ahead and I'll show you guys how to install those and get the secondary slot back together. So just a little bit about the actual Torlon material. What it is, it's a meltable plastic, very, very high strength, very, very wear resistant. It's actually being called an ultra polymer just because it is literally one of the most high performance plastics you can get on the market right now. Pretty incredible. They're using it in airplane bearings. They use it underwater, in the ocean, under extreme pressures. Just very resistant to just about everything, honestly. And I'm going to show you guys why that's such a good idea to get in your clutch here. So what we have is a Razor 1000 secondary still, but we actually ran the original square pucks in it for about 350 miles, and I'll show you guys what has been happening here. So as you can see, the puck over time, it actually takes this trench out the middle, and it might be hard to see, but there's actually a ridge on this left side and this right side. So over time, you know, it's really just digging in there, really going to cause problems. And so the benefit of having these in your clutch is you're going to see a lot less friction in your upshifting and your backshifting, which was actually causing that groove to form right away. And so what was happening is that groove got formed by that square puck constantly rubbing on one side like that, where these rollers, you know, it's a roller, so it's just always rolling up and down, and just a huge decrease in friction. And so what you're actually going to see is an increase in your performance, because your upshifting and your downshifting, the speed is going to increase as well. You know, you don't have that constant rubbing, it's just a nice smooth action the whole way through. So, you know, it's a great idea to get these in sooner than later. It's going to save you money in the long run. And you can actually get these also for the spider in your secondary, for inside the helix. Okay, so I'm actually going to show you guys how to install the Torlon rollers now. And basically, it's what we did to get the factory pucks out of there, except in reverse. So, and there actually are a few extra things here. So, as you notice on the Torlon rollers, there is a side that has this radius to it. That's kind of a rounded edge in the middle there. And there's a side that is just a flat edge, just a regular one. So you're going to want to find that black pin that you just took out a little bit ago, and make sure that that rounded edge is faced towards the head of the black pin. And you'll also notice that this black pin has a flat top on one of the sides right there. So what you're going to want to do is make sure that top part right there is faced up on the clutch. Otherwise, you won't be able to fit that pin through the middle here. So go ahead, and should slide right in for you. And if it doesn't, and I do just to be safe, give it a little tap with the hammer. Should pop right in. And what you're going to want to do now is find that little pin, the little hollow pin that you set aside a little bit ago. And this part's just a bit tricky. So that hole that it would have popped out earlier right here, you're going to want to take your pin, and you're going to want to try and wedge it in there a little bit, just to get it started. See if I can up close on that for you guys. So as you can see, it's just wedged in there a little bit. And what I actually have here is just basically something I can smack with a hammer with a flat edge. So you're going to want to put that on top and then just pound it right back into place. Go ahead and toss that on there and just lightly tap that back into place. Make sure it's flush on there. And that's basically it. That's how you install your rollers. So you're going to want to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side. And we will go ahead and grab your spring. That goes in first, making sure that this bottom little part right here, there's a spot for that to go, and it'll lock in just a little bit right there. So go ahead and grab your spider, toss that back on top. Grab your helix, making sure you remember to line up the permanent marker side that you marked earlier. Go ahead and toss that on top too. And we're going to go ahead and bring this back over to the vise and the spring compressor. Get this compressed down and bolted right back up.